Welcome back to the Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman with my man Humble's in the building. Humble, what's happening?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be up here with my guy Joe, here with another video, a recap on these Cavaliers. So it's good to be back up here with my guy.
Absolutely glad to be back up here. I wish we were up here, Humble, on some better circumstances than this loss last night. As you can see right here, we'll get right into it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And everybody hit the like button on the way in here. Let's get a like rally going. But what was that last night, Humble? I mean, absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that? I mean, to come out at home in Game 6, Humble, you're at home, you're up 3-2, you got him on the ropes. What's up, Wally? Good to see you, brother. You got him on the ropes. I mean, you stole a game of Detroit, Humble, and then they come out like last night, no energy. The execution was terrible. The coaching was terrible. We'll start there with the coach, because I ultimately, we look at that, right? And you told me something earlier today, Humble, that I had no idea about. What was the thing about Kenny Atkinson last night?
Yeah. I saw a video on TikTok. It was pointing out Kenny Atkinson. I wish we could throw it up here on the live. Kenny Atkinson that said, here's a guy at home, Game 6, not on the road, but at home, Game 6, and is sitting mostly the whole game in a chair, where essentially the players are sitting mostly the whole game, getting some rest. You got Coach Kenny Atkinson sitting on the bench, in a Game 6 where he should be standing with his guys, showing that, hey, I'm fighting for you guys, as far as I'm concerned. And it was disrespectful in some fans' eyes, and I know it was for me, because I would have been standing up that whole game.
I saw a thing today, Humble, that said Kevin Stefanski. Kenny Atkinson's become the new Kevin Stefanski.
Oh yeah.
Because you know what he said last night after the game? We just got to play better. Just got to play better. This guy's becoming the new Kevin Stefanski of Cleveland. I mean, I thought we got rid of that crap. I guess not. I guess we're back to it again with the Cavs. I guess now we got the same thing with our coach now with the Cavaliers, Humble, where, after every game, it's just, I don't know. It's not my, just got to watch tape. Just got to be better.
Right.
Well, no shit. We know you got to be better. You come out in Game 6 like that with no energy. Just no heart, no killer instinct, no nothing. You got him on the ropes. When you got the foot on the neck, you got to take him down, man. You got to finish him. You got
to capitalize.
You got to capitalize. It's like you got and UFC, which you do. You covered and goes to subscribe to Humble Man MMA's channel. When you got somebody in a key lock, you don't let him out of it.
Right.
You finish it up right there. But no, the Cavs, they just let go. Oh, now you put me in one. And it's like, and then we'll see if we can get out of it again. And then it's just like this soft mentality that I just cannot stand with this team, Humble. And it's been all year long. That's why I've been bitching about it all year long.
Right.
Shout out to Tribe 00. Mitchell and Hart will never be alpha male like LeBron. I'll even put like Kyrie too. Both personalities are too laid back, horrific leaders. And I gotta say, it starts with the leadership at the top with the head coach.
Yeah, too. And we've been saying that for a while too. I'll let you continue, but you're right.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And feel free to chime in. I mean, the guy, like you said, sitting there on the bench all night, like he's a fan in the stands. I couldn't tell if it was a fan or if it was Kenny Atkinson. I mean, honestly, really. Were they coaching themselves last night? Because they literally went out there, Humble. I was so disgusted last night after watching that game, because that was supposed to be a great night. Beautiful
100%.
night out. Oh yeah, beautiful night in Northeast Ohio. You're up 3-2. You can finally get over the hump. You beat Detroit. You go back to the Eastern Conference Finals, the place you've been trying to get to, especially these guys like Donovan, who've never been there. Just, we know the journey it's been since 2018 when LeBron left to get back there. And you come out at home. At home, you should have all the momentum in the world. You got the crowd showed up. It wasn't the fans' fault.
No.
It's never their fault. They showed up.
It's never their fault.
Nah, they showed up and showed out, Humble. It's disgusting. And it's not even that they lost; it's how they lost.
It's how they lost.
Yeah, it's how they showed up to play. Like, you got your ass handed to you at home in Game 6 in a closeout game.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
No,
I mean,
go ahead. And you couldn't even crack 100 points. That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
You can't crack 100 points at home. At home. That's what hurts us. And it's also going to hurt you mentally going away from home. You're going into Detroit. You're going into enemy territory. Like you said, being a leader, you would have closed this game out. We're going on to the next round. It's just it's unfortunate.
Wait till you hear these stats, folks. I mean, cover your kids' ears with these stats. Here we go. 30 of 77 for 39% from the field. 12 of 35, 34% from 3. They shot 44%. 22 of 30 from free throw percentage, 73%. Should I even continue? And this is at home, by the way. You got out rebounded again. 15 assists for the night, Humble. That's all we had. 15 assists.
I mean, just ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Fast break points. The 14-8. Okay. Look at this, Humble. Points in the paint. 48-26.
I'm lost for words. I mean, I am. I'm lost for words.
And
there's nothing else you could say to that.
Hey, Humble, the usual 20 turnovers, 28 points conceded off turnovers.
You don't win ball games like that. There's no way you win ball games like that.
And this is the Game 6 performance at home. This is what we get.
At home.
This is all we get. Donovan Mitchell, Humble. I got to go to him. Because at the end of the day, Humble, he's the star player in the team. I can get on James Harden. He's 36 years old. You know, he's still got to perform. Can't turn the ball over. You know, obviously James in Game 6, 8 turnovers, 6 field goals. You know, that's not good. Moves to third all time in playoff turnovers. And he's another guy got the narrative on him. Obviously, his whole career, he can't finish the deal when it matters most. A lot of people say. So, Humble James Harden, obviously, he's a turnover machine. He threw some bad passes again last night. Only 6 shots made. You want more out of him from that. But at the end of the day, though, Humble, I can't get on James the most. I got to go back to Donovan. He's the superstar. He's supposed to be the quote-unquote superstar of the team. He's supposed to be the franchise guy. He's supposed to be the guy that said, you last year when they lost the Pacers, he went up to the podium and said, you guys are going to write us off next year. And like, yeah. And Game 6, Humble, blowout loss, 18 points, 6 of 20 from the field, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, minus 25 plus minus.
I mean, this is your superstar. This is a guy you're banking on. This is a guy who had not one, but 2 defensive player of the years on his roster, on his starting lineup. I mean, you give LeBron 2 defensive player of the years. I mean, for God's sake, he's going to win you 2 to 3 championships. In his prime, at least. In a Cleveland Cavalier uniform. I mean, this is ridiculous, Donovan Mitchell. I mean, you've asked for so much from this organization, and for you to come out like this, not hurt. I mean, it's. You say we have the best fans in the world. Well, can we say we have the best player in the world? Because it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it, man.
No, it don't look like it. And not only that, like you said, they brought in the coach he wanted, Kenny Atkinson. They got rid of JB, who they're about to lose to, possibly on the other side, by the way.
You think JB's laughing at that? Oh, he's rubbing his hands. Oh, it's not me. If I win Game 7, Kenny Atkinson's on the verge of getting fired. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
That seat is hot right now. I mean, that seat is so hot. You could sear a steak on that thing well done in about 3 minutes. I mean, that seat can't be any hotter. I mean, but Donovan Mitchell, though, they go out, they get you James Harden. They go out, they get Dennis Schroeder. They get Keon. They get all these trades at the deadline. They got all these shooters, right? They brought back Sam Merrill. You got everything you need. Max Strus is playing a great this postseason. He's having a great series. Max Strus is playing out of his mind. I mean, for what you're getting off the bench, he's doing great. But this guy, Humble, he comes out the last game, and it wasn't for the overtime, which was forced by Max Strus and Evan Mobley. The overtime, he said, okay, I'll finally show up when it mattered, but it was overtime. He didn't do it in the fourth quarter. He did it in the overtime. But he comes out the last game, wasn't a great complete game from him. You think at game 6 at home, Humble, this guy is going to come out and just absolutely put on a virtuoso. And that's why I bet on. I said, hey, I want to see him come out, put 35, 40 points up and close it out at home. And it'd be your, vintage moment for Donovan. No, I'm going to come out, shoot 6 of 20, be very passive, 3 turnovers, lead with no energy. I mean, missing how many layups did he miss last night? Defensively, it was just an absolute nightmare for the Cavs all night. I mean, just there's no energy, no heart, no nothing. Like this is what we get. And then you get after the game, Humble. You get Mitchell and Harden up at the podium talking about, yeah, we're not going to dwell on it. It is what it is. Like, oh well. And then you hear Kenny Atkinson like, well, typical like the Stefanski-esque type answer. It just got to be better. It's got to be better. Udonis Haslam, Humble, was not very happy when he heard the post game last night from Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. Here's what he had to say. But again, this is Udonis Haslam from the Pat Riley culture, same culture that Max Strus came up in. That's why Max Strus is playing harder than anybody on the Cavs right now. At least he showed up. Shout out to Max Strus. Consistently has showed up and hustling his ass off every game. But again, comes from the Pat Riley, culture. So obviously Udonis Haslam's like one of the pinnacles of that. Here's what he had to say after the game.
Listen, I can't stand when players say, like, what is harping on this tonight going to do for Game 7? It's going to help if you hold each other accountable. It's going to help if you hold each other accountable. Listen. Coach Atkinson need to put some hot sauce in these boys' water bottles.
Yes.
I've never seen a team. I've never seen a team come in with a chance to close out with less intent to finish them. I've never seen a team come in with a closeout opportunity with less focus, with less intensity. Like, I've never seen that. Hell, Coach Atkinson need to put some hot sauce in his water bottle, too. Because he ain't holding nobody accountable sitting up on that damn stand.
Going around.
Like, he ain't holding crystals at that. That's what we doing. We coming with the crystals. Just in case I get it, just in case. But I'm just saying, listen.
Crystals,
yeah, but no, listen, I've never seen a team have a chance to close out and come in with it. You didn't even crack 100 points tonight. Like, come on, and didn't sit there and be like, oh, we had an opportunity in small pockets. No. You had an opportunity to win the game from the jump. And your focus, the way you approached it, your intent, everything was off, and that's why you lost. Now you're going back to Detroit with Game 7. What's going to happen now? What's inside you is going to reveal itself in Game 7. We're going to see, because you will be judged. Sitting up there talking about, oh, yeah, what we going to do about it now? Lose on Saturday. Lose the next game and watch what happens. You will be judged, because everybody's sitting here waiting for Donovan to do what he's going to do. We're waiting for James to do what he's going to do. You guys have had the opportunity. Now you sit here in a Game 7 situation. If you don't close this out, you have nobody to blame but yourselves.
Humble, he was on fire right there. Can't say I disagree with anything he said there, Humble.
I mean,
your thoughts?
I think it's crazy. Like, I hadn't even seen this clip yet. I thought it was actually pretty cool that he mentioned the 100-point performance. Cavs didn't even crack 100 points. You gotta score 100 points in the damn playoffs, especially if you're home. And I'm fired up, man. It's just because, I mean, it's disrespectful for Cavs fans, people who spent good, hard-earned money to go see that performance. Are you freaking kidding me? I almost thought about going to see Game 6. I'm glad I didn't go into that building, man. I mean, it's disrespectful, man, for the fans that came out there, paid for that money, like I said. But, I mean, I got to ask, is there something that's going on in that locker room, right? I mean, we know we didn't get reports until after the playoffs and JB and Donovan and everyone wasn't clicking last year, and I got to ask, is there something going on with James Harden and Kenny? Is it Donovan Mitchell and Kenny? Is it James Harden and Mitchell? I don't know, but I feel as if someone's not being held accountable as far as and it could be Mitchell, right? It could be Mitchell, the way that he's scoring. He's not performing to his the way we know him to be at the end of the day. And it looks as if a lot of Cavs fans are putting their heads down as if, oh man, this is another upset, right? Well, Donovan Mitchell, you better show us who you are. I mean, we got one game out of you out of this whole playoffs. You got to give us something, dude. You really do.
Yeah, Donovan's got to show up tomorrow night and play the game of his life. Even if they lose, they can't lose because of him. And so that's all I got to say with Donovan. You hit the nail on the head. I'll let you nailed a lot of points right there. But I'm gonna go back to Kenny real quick, Humble, before we kind of wrap this up. And Wiley, Wiley, I see if I got a couple minutes. I'll let you come up for like 2-3 minutes. That's all I got. But I'll let you come up and just give your take, and then we'll close it out real quick because I got to get going here soon. My apologies. But going back to Kenny though. I said he's like Kevin Stefanski, right? He's reminding me more of Kevin Stefanski. Very passive, which I said, remember I said that before the postseason. I said he's a little passive. I think I said on Toon's channel. And he's saying all this similar things to what Kevin Stefanski said after a loss. So, well, we just got to be better, right? But you see the mentality of the team. And you made that point, going back to 2 years ago when there was that whole report about JB and the disconnect with the locker room. There was a reason why I did the report I did going into the postseason about Kenny Atkinson, who I thought coached a good game 5, but that was really the only good game he coached. I mean, I take it through 3 and 4 was decent. Game 5, I thought he did an okay job. I thought the other guys just didn't really do a good enough job. I thought the second half he looked all right, but Humble, I just go back to him though. Sitting on the bench all night. No energy really from him. I didn't see. I mean, I saw him yell a couple times and talk to the ref, but I just didn't see. I don't see the fight with this team. I don't see the identity. One thing about JB, he's had his faults in the postseason, Humble, but they're not really winning right. They didn't win last night off of adjustments. You know what they won off of? Just their identity. That they know who they are. They may not always execute properly, make the best adjustments. JB teams can get a little maybe his teams can get a little stagnant in the middle of the series and they're kind of one-dimensional, which we talked about the other day on Toon's channel. But one thing they always do is come out and play with effort and energy. That's like mandatory. And if you don't bring that in JB's locker room, you're probably not going to make it that long there. And he actually has guys that are bought in. I don't think he had guys that were bought in like that, like he has in Detroit. They're a bunch of junkyard dogs. And it starts with the head of the snake and Cade Cunningham, and then the rest of the guys feed off of that. And you saw last night, that was just pure energy, hustle, and just who wanted it more. It wasn't anything else other than that. They came out like their season was on the line, which it was, and they treated it like it was Game 7. The Cavs didn't treat it like it was a closeout game or a Game 7.
Right, good point.
They came out and treated it like it was like just, Game 1, and all this stuff. And so, like it was just some laissez-faire. But Kenny Atkinson, before the postseason, he was making those comments. Remember I told you about he was challenging you read some of the quotes he was saying, it's not he said in terms of the defensive problems they had, late in the season, going into the postseason it wasn't a personnel thing. He said it was more just, it starts with the top of the guys in that locker room. And you could tell he was kind of sending subliminal messages out to those guys, the core 4 guys, especially. And so it makes you wonder, obviously I don't want to overreact because they still got one more game that they can, they can win tomorrow night, come out and dominate and move on to the conference finals. But, Kenny's rotations right now are not very consistent. With Jalen Tyson, they just, as good as he looked all year, all of a sudden he's just, nothing in the postseason. I got to look at the coach of that in some ways. Shout out to Beast Girls. So what's good, fellas? The Pistons bench dominated. Yeah, I mean, they had almost 50 points off the bench last night.
Yeah.
Well, what do we have? Like 15? He had a 3-man rotation most of the game last night. And some of his lineups I just don't like. I mean, you got Dean Wade with Sam Merrill on the court at the same time. Like, you're just asking to get you're asking for defensive problems at that point. I mean, it's just like, and Dean Wade he's good in some defensive matchups, but there's some other moments where he's not great. I mean, I don't think he's been the problem, but poor guy slipped and fell last night at the end of the game. I mean, everything was just bad last night. People slipping and falling. We couldn't inbound the ball. I mean, it was just a bad night. But Kenny Atkinson, I gotta keep looking at him because it's just like, dude, you let your team come out and play like that. That's what was your pregame message?
Dude.
Anything? Did he just walk in and say, "All right, guys, hope you're feeling good. Let's go play. Go get them. Have fun." Yeah. Why are we playing Thomas Bryant? Why are we playing somebody? Can we put some people out there to go out and play hard and you notice one thing, Humble. If you go back to Game 5, and this is what I noticed that night. I didn't say it because we won, but if you go at the end of that game, remember when they came back with that 2 minutes left and they had the ball and they had that one possession where they could have won at the buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan's sitting on the bench, right? Kenny Atkinson's talking to his assistants, and they're heading back towards the huddle. You know who Donovan Mitchell called into the huddle, standing probably 10 feet away from him? Like, demanded him to come over here and stand and ask him what to do? Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder, yeah.
And we've heard that theme from him already this postseason, how Dennis Schroeder is the guy he's been talking to the most. I'm going to be honest with you, Humble. You think Michael Jordan called any other guy on the bench when he had Phil Jackson or Kobe Bryant? You think they did? You think Dwayne Wade ever called anybody else over when he had Pat Riley coaching him?
Right.
Not saying. I mean, they had vets probably to help. They all communicate. But I thought that was a little. That kind of stood out to me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It really stood out to me. And it goes back to, remember when Dennis Schroeder bitched out Donovan Mitchell in the middle of the game for not getting back on defense. Why is the backup point guard off the bench doing that? Why isn't the coach holding them accountable and doing that? Why isn't the coach? If JJ Redick can be a first-time head coach and call a timeout, that famous clip he has where he's going off and he calls a timeout, he's yelling at his guys with LeBron and Luka. Why can't Kenny Atkinson do that? And I'm not saying you got to be somebody or not, but where's the intensity? Like, if you have a coach that's just laissez-faire like that, it feeds into the team. And it leads me to think. Did you see the viral clip recently from Miles Turner about Doc Rivers and Giannis?
I don't think so.
About how Miles Turner said Doc Rivers was, he let guys be late to team meetings all the time, never punish guys. Like, it was like a very lax culture, too lax. And that Giannis was always late to a lot of meetings, and like the plane was supposed to take off at 2:00 and they wouldn't take off till like 4:30 because they were late. Like, just a very bad culture, just a terrible culture. And it makes you think, and it's Doc Rivers is the guy that they're put in the Hall of Fame. He only won one championship with the Big Three, the original Big Three. Other than that, it was a bunch of blown 3-1 leads and not so good effort and results. And it makes you think, at the end of the day, players, there's a famous quote in football. I think it was from the great John McKinney, if I'm not mistaken. Players win games, coaches lose them.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at that coach, Humble, and it's just this. I see a lot of signs I don't like, and I don't know, man. I hope they come out tomorrow night and they light the world on fire and win the game. But one thing JB's team has, the guy that they fired for Kenny Atkinson, they have an identity, and they have a certain. You don't ever question it. Did the Pistons come out and play hard every night? You don't question that. You don't come out and wonder if they play like a bunch of killers that night. They may not win the game. They may not shoot the ball well, but you don't question that. The Cavs, you question that, and that's an issue. Your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think you 100% nailed it on the head, and I agree, because it's like JB, like you said, took a whole bunch of junk dogs. I mean, look at that team. You got guys like Tobias Harris that needed a second chance. You got a guy as far as Paul Reed needed a second chance. Duncan Robinson needed a second chance. Karis LeVert, all these guys, at the end of the day, like you said, they're junkyard dogs. I mean, they're one state over. JB took that identity and brought it one state over at the end of the day. I mean, you nailed it on the head. I mean, like you said, they come in every night, physical. We traded for Garland and he couldn't play games. And we said all season, well, James Harden plays games and he puts at least 20 points per game up on the scoreboard. Well, defensively, we all know what he doesn't do, right? And it just shows so much, and it hurts so badly to see. My question is Donovan Mitchell in his head, right? I mean, taking a lot of shots, right? We got your honey boo boo Coco Jones out there, and you still can't put up. And I mean, Come on, dude. I mean, I don't think LeBron's doing that in front of Savannah James, right? Especially she's pulling up courtside. I mean, come on, the king, he put on a poster, and that's why I got to ask: are you in your head a little bit when he's talking to Dennis Schroeder on the side, right? And like I said, he's a guy who played with Rudy Gobert in the past. You got a guy in Evan Mobley, young guy. Why can't we get it done? What's the problem? And then I gotta think, ultimately, at the end of the day, Joe, what did Shaquille O'Neal say to Donovan Mitchell in that post interview a while back when he was in Utah? I don't think you got that it factor. I don't think you you have enough. And what did Donovan Mitchell say? He responded with okay, like all right. He brushed it off. Well, it's been a couple years now, and hell, Shaq might be right, and I'm not saying Shaq is right. I'm saying he might be, because you got me thinking, hell, even if we win this game 7, and I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers for the grace of God, I'm hoping that we win this game 7, Joe. Well, I got to think on this perspective. It's only logical. New York is on the other side, and they've been rested for quite a while now. You don't think we're going to be tired going into the next game if we make it past game 7 to a game 1? You know, I get to worrying, man.
You know, when Kenny said it wasn't a talent issue, he wasn't lying.
Right.
It's not a talent issue. They lack the intangibles of a championship team, and that's very evident. You know, they may get by tomorrow night, but you know, not like you said, they got to go against another tough team, the Knicks, who Mike Brown, no slouch coach. He's a hard ass coach. Those teams are going to play hard, especially in New York. Shout out to Tri Double O. Said I noticed that too in the locker room. Even after Game 5 win, Agassi looked at Mitchell like he was afraid and let Donovan do all the talking. Kenny's just a puppet. You know, after that Game 5 win too, I saw the speech. It was just very dull.
I'm glad that we're speaking about that, Joe.
It was very dull, you know. And I saw this today, Humble. They said I don't want to hear I don't want to hear no more about Kyrie versus Mitchell debates. Now, also, Kyrie was a killer, certified killer. He had that it factor. Kyrie, whenever it was a big game, you didn't have to worry about number 2 showing up the ball out. Okay, as long as he was healthy, he was going to do work. Uncle Drew was showing up. But you know what else he had there too, Humble? And even LeBron James in Game 7, the franchise's championship in Game 7. You know what they had at halftime? They had a coach that challenged the players in Tyronn Lue.
100%.
Always, and Tyronn wasn't perfect, but T. Lue, man, that guy, his teams always showed up and competed hard. They played well defensively. You didn't ever question their energy. And he was what I liked about T. Lue, he wasn't afraid to challenge guys, and he got up and he was always on his feet, screaming, yelling. I mean, when the buzzer went off, I mean, the guy went sprinting across the court, was in tears. I mean, that just shows you the kind of. And then at the parade, he's sitting there up in the thing, dancing and vibing with the people in the car. Like, T. Lue fit what they needed, he had the championship DNA as that coach, you know. And I don't put everything that happened with him in the Clippers, that's a whole other conversation, but I don't put that all on him. But again, when the coach matters, he sets the tone for the culture, and he allows what's, you know, he enables he'll enable what's allowed to be enabled to the star players, especially. And you know, LeBron obviously had a lot of control of the franchise, but the fact that T. Lue had the balls at halftime in Game 7 to challenge him like that in front of everybody, look what the result was in that second half. They came out and they played with their hair on fire, and they got the dub. And so, and they made you saw some of the best plays you'll ever see. And so, with all that being said, it's just like they lack the intangibles, Humble. And 100%. So, and they got to prove otherwise, because the inconsistency, 1 minute they show they have it, the next minute they don't. I mean, if you don't, either you have it or you don't. It's either who you are or you're not. And right now, I think they're just a finesse team. When they're on, they're on. When they're off, they're terrible. And so, I don't know, man. We're down to a Game 7, Humble.
I gotta say what you said. It's do you have it or do you not? Who you are or who you aren't. It's true. I got 2 more things, man. It's just, you're right, because when you're talking about that Game 5, I saw the videos that were coming out with Kenny Atkinson, and my first reactions, Joe, was, this guy's not even clapping hard enough. He's clapping as if like this was a golf match. You know how they're clapping light?
Yeah, great
It's got me
birdie.
right. And I'm like, where's the emotion? Where's the pounding on the chest? Where's the pushing on on the players? Like, I see you, I'm proud of you moment, right? There was none of that, and it got me thinking of 2 years ago. What were they doing when they first? It was against that was it Indiana? I don't remember who it was, but it was a game where they had to win, and they're down, and you just got Cavaliers before the game. They're just smiling and enjoying around doing layups and stuff. And I'm like, what? Where's the identity? Where's that it factor? Like you're saying, it's do you have it or do you don't? And I think you're 100% right with that. And yeah, man, I agree. And honestly, my last point with something that you were talking about with that Kyrie thing, and I think a lot of fans would like this point, and it's just something to think about. And I'm not saying this is just a point I had out of nowhere. Kyrie Irving unlocked that leader ability, if you will, Joe. I feel as if from LeBron, right? LeBron didn't learn it by himself in Cleveland. He learned it in Miami with D Wade, right? And Pat Riley and those crew. My question is this to you, Joe. Do you think Donovan Mitchell never really played with a real leader, like you said? I mean, here's a guy who had an okay team in Utah with a defensive player. He came all the way to Cleveland, traded for Lauri Markkanen, and I mean, basically has a beautiful lineup surrounded around him, but no real leader beside him.
I don't think Donovan's ever had that, but I don't think Donovan's ever been challenged.
Right.
I think he was well coached by Quinn Snyder, but I think Donovan's been in the perfect spots. And what I mean by that is Utah, that's all they have. He's the star of the town. They're going to cater to him. Cleveland, they needed that superstar. They've kind of catered to him. They did everything they needed to him. But they've catered that. They treated him like he's a superstar. And I think in his mind, he believes he's a superstar. He could just turn it on off and get a pass. But I don't think he's ever had that real scrutiny. He's never been under fire and criticism like the other real superstars are, the guys that are certified superstars. And so I think he's never, you know what he needs? And it's not for everybody, but I think Donovan, if he loses this series, he needs LeBron James, even at 41 years old.
And I know you were a big advocate of that.
Because LeBron has a presence. Jalen Tyson could say it's Donovan's city. Well, guess what? At 41, it's still LeBron's city if he comes back, buddy. It's not even Donovan's city right now. It's Myles Garrett's city. Then I'll even put Jose Ramirez above him because those guys
100%
have produced. And Myles automatic because he's a star. You're the Browns franchise player, and the best player in the world. I mean, that's not even a conversation. But
it's not even a
but again, like, I don't think he's ever been challenged like he should be. I think he's been enabled a little bit, and I think somebody's got to get in his ass a little bit. But I think I noticed this with kids in high school, and I'll finish with this. They like a lot of the culture nowadays, Humboldt, the high school, a lot of these schools, a lot of these programs, they've allowed, and just kids in general, not even just high school, but just from middle school on up, elementary on up. One of the biggest problems I see is we've kind of allowed since COVID this enabled and this entitled kind of mentality, not just throughout society, but also we're afraid to hold kids in structure anymore. We're afraid to hold them accountable. And people are very like on edge, and they want to be buddy and best friends with everybody and the players. But it's like players, a lot of days, what I've noticed, and kids, and just they actually like accountability. Not in the meat, but when you hold them accountable though, and you show them why, to tell them the why, and keep them in structure, they actually start to respond to you better, and they start to like, man, I like this because I can see it works. I feel, I can see the results from it. And I go back to that Donovan clip on the bench I saw the other night, that moment where he's like telling Dennis, get over here. Well, who's the only guy that's ever held him accountable in Cleveland? Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good point to end on. Yeah, you're right.
But before we get up out of here, Humble, what do you got tomorrow night? Will the Cavs get the dub?
To be honest with you, I hope so. I mean,
what do you got?
I think they do. I really do. I think they do, but I think they're gonna gas out next series. Yeah, I think that's my truth belief, man. I think we got a little cocky. We thought, I don't know if Harden, was up late on all night on the phone or what. I don't know what it was. I got a little carried away, and I think we win this one. I do. I think we win Game 7, but ultimately, I think we gas out next series, man. I do.
I'll say the only way the Cavs win is if Donovan scores more than 30. Or 35. He's got to come out and play. He has to be killer mode. But if I was a betting man, not gonna lie, I'd bet on the Pistons tomorrow night.
Sure.
I would. So
yeah.
That's my take on it. I mean, yeah.
I'm hoping Allen shows up too, man. I'm hoping Allen shows up.
Because if they don't win, I already got a show planned out and what's going to happen after that. So they better win. But please like, subscribe, and share to Humble's channel, Humble Man MMA. I know you got some content coming up here soon, some UFC fights coming. Possibly Conor McGregor coming back July 11th. That's the rumor right now. So we'll see on that. Go subscribe to my man, Humble Man MMA. Go subscribe to TuneIn Sports and Cavaliers Talk as well, our guy. See y'all next week. I'll see you, Wally. Yeah, we'll definitely see you next week, Wally. Hopefully it's after a win, but if not, we already know what time it is, unfortunately. But please like, subscribe, and share and all that good stuff. And still go Cavs. Let's get this dub tomorrow night, and we'll see you guys in the next one. We're out of here. Gone.